Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another week of RU ESports. I believe that this is week 6. RU ESports, the talk show that probably should be a question. Today we've got a very, very special week for you guys. This is the first time ever that we've got a host on, a guest on the show. I'm, of course, your host, David Simo Rabinovich, and alongside me is the classic and one and only
Joseph Raimundo.
Yeah. And how you doing, Joseph? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good? Swell. I'm good. I'm good. Now that we've got a guest on the show and we can finally talk about something else.
Who's our guest this week?
Who's
David?
our special guest is none other than Ryerson native Faizan. Give us a little something.
What's up, everybody? My name is Faizan. My gamer tag is Kid Ghoul, or also known as Technic Wolf. That's one of my gamer tags that's actually a little underneath the radar, but is soon to come out.
Soon to come.
Yeah.
Soon to come. So he is our resident Smash expert, and we're going to spend quite a bit of time today talking about Smash, Super Smash 4, and just really talking about the scene. We've touched on it in previous weeks, but now we really want to dive in and see from an outside perspective, because Joseph and I are pretty yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth, but we're really comfortable with League of Legends. Joseph's comfortable with CS:GO. I'm comfortable with a couple of other things, but Smash is kind of like a gray area for us. Like, I've seen a couple of tournaments here and there, but I'm probably bronze when it comes.
Don't worry, I got you guys.
Thank God.
Real quick before we get started, I actually want to give a quick shout out to the Ryerson Smash Brothers community, and especially the people who help run it: Jamie, Connor, Robert, and JC. They didn't ask me to do this, but those guys really gave me and lots of other people a home at Ryerson University where we can all kind of just like talk about Smash and talk about other various video games and like just have a good time. And it's a really close knit community there, and I love it. So just shout out to those guys real quick and the whole Ryerson Smash Bros community.
Check out their Facebook page too, and go visit them in the student union building.
The student campus center. We are in the basement. We are pretty much down there every single day. Melee is pretty much played down there every single day, and Smash 4 is played on Thursdays and Fridays.
Wow, quite the nugget of information there. Now, don't be confused. The basement's not for smokers; it's for Smash players. Those guys get down and dirty, and I've been there before, and it gets pretty intense. I think some people even just knock out.
Some people miss that whole area completely. Like, you hear controllers like the floor above, but you never really go down that path.
No, for sure. And I think it's really important to note that this is where everything goes down, right? This is where the Smash community. Coming in, I've been here for 4 years. I've been at Ryerson for 4 years, and Smash has been the largest community here at Ryerson. I haven't really heard a lot from the Dota guys. CS:GO is kind of there. League of Legends has, we've been fighting with each other, but Smash has always been this like tried and true. And I honestly think that the Smash. I wish Smash was a bigger esport, but it's getting there.
I wish I was good at Smash, then I could hang out with those guys, but I just embarrass myself, to be honest.
We welcome everybody, both newcomers and experienced players. Just want to say that.
Yeah, that's true. I did go there once, and I got wrecked.
Ouch. That's a little bit rough. So let's actually dive right into the bread and butter here. Tell us a little bit about Smash for those tuning in who don't even know that Smash is an esport, and for those who don't even know that Wii is a console that you can purchase at your neighborhood electronics store. Tell us a little bit about like what Smash is.
Well, Smash it's a fighting game. And just like any other fighting game, your goal is to knock out the other opponent, and first one to lose other lives loses. What makes Smash really unique, though, is that it's actually physics-based. So you're not running on a health bar, but rather percentage, and that percentage represents knockback, which really makes Smash unique. If you're at 100%, you're going to go flying off the stage, and if you reach a certain point, you lose a stock or a life, as other people would call it. And Smash is a unique game in its own, different than Tekken or Street Fighter or anything else. So yeah,
that's really confusing for new people too, because if you're watching it for the first time, you might see like a game being played and you're really confused about the percentages. Like, is that a percentage of your health? Why is it not going down? Why is it going up? But it's actually a really, really cool like system that like I don't think any other fighting game has.
Yeah, definitely. It can be confusing a lot, but what's also really good about Smash that I personally like, which separates it from Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, or pretty much any other fighting game, is that it's super easy to pick up. With Street Fighter, you have these insane combos that are difficult to learn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you want to do Shoryuken, it's hard enough to do it on its own, especially if you're not.
It's that Z. It's that Z.
It's that Z.
It's that Z. I'm quite the Street Fighter player. That's kind of my go-to game. But I do have one story about my glory days in Smash. So I was at this esports party once, and I tell this story like every single time because it's like the best story I have to offer. I was at this esports party, and there was like a lot of like different people from different. There was like StarCraft players, there was League players, there was Dota players, and then Smash is that game. It's that party game. It's like what people get down. It's like I play Dota 2 professionally, but I've got that Smash skill in my back pocket.
Seems like everybody has that.
Yeah. I don't. So my favorite character to play in Smash. So this was Smash 4. It was a 1v1v1. There was 4 people playing. It wasn't 10 or 8 or whatever the max is for Smash 4, but it was 1v1v1. Sorry, 4 people. It was free for all. And I was Mr. Game & Watch. My strategy was to be the last one alive. And what I did was I just kept jumping up and then parachuting down while everyone just fought it out. So it was me up against this like really good at Smash player. Like he's really good at League. He's really good at Smash. Like when he's serious, he plays Squirtle, but like he was playing Duck Hunt at the time, which is like the most in Smash 4. I can't deal with Duck Hunt.
No,
like
he's super campy.
It's terrible. So I was like, as Mr. Game & Watch, like I'm not getting into this guy. He's throwing barrels at me. He's shooting his gun at me. Like what am I gonna do? So I'm like, you know what? Like what do I have to lose, right? Like all I'm doing is just jumping up and parachuting down. He's not coming for me. I'm not coming for him. I'm gonna go in with the chair. I'm going in with the chair. And I hit a 9, and we were both down to last stock, like 150%. I hit the 9, and like the crowd goes nuts. Oh, I just hit a mic. And that's like my best story. And then I money matched him for $5, and he 4-stocked me. But that's like the story that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point.
You know what's really cool about Smash actually is most people like just have many people have played it just casually like with their friends.
Yeah,
which is really really cool.
It's because like. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the easiest games you can pick up in general.
And really fun just to play, like, for fun.
Yeah, it's like press A to attack, press left to go left, press or push up to jump. Like, it doesn't really get more straightforward than that, Obviously, when you get more into the technical side and you start going for strings and combos and true combos and all that stuff, then it gets a little bit more complicated. But if you're just a casual and picking up the game, it's literally just press B and you'll do an attack. Press A and you'll do an attack. Press up and B to recover. Like, it doesn't really get any more simpler than that, It's pressing a button.
I can actually remember, because, like, the first Smash I was really, really into, like, I had a GameCube, but I never played, like, Melee, like, a lot.
Yeah.
I remember picking up Brawl like on the first day it came out, going to Future Shop, and like I never really thought much. It was just like another game.
Yeah.
And bringing it to like my cottage with my friends, and we just played it like the entire weekend. And I decided I'm just gonna play one character, learn all of his abilities, and I chose Meta Knight just because he looked cool, right? And then literally like I never thought anything like of it, and then years later
for saying you played Meta Knight.
Yeah, I was at school and we were in a tournament. I was like, oh dude, I played this game a shit ton. I'm gonna play Meta Knight. And everyone's like, no, you can't. And I was like, why? What the hell? And they're like, he's banned. I'm like, why is he banned? I always thought he was like the worst character because his like Super Smash, whatever, was like you had to put your cape. And they don't even use that competitive. But
the Final Smash.
I thought it was just horrible. I thought he was like a weak character, but I just thought he looked cool, and I loved playing him. And people told me he was like extremely OP because I guess of how fast he was. That was like the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah, with Meta Knight, it's kind of a weird thing, and pretty much whatever determines a character is top tier. There's a couple of factors. One is frame data, so how fast they can take out a move and how much ending lag they have on it before they can take out another move. And I'm sorry if this is getting a little bit too much on the technical side, but like I'm definitely gonna definitely gonna try and keep this on the simpler side. So there's frame data, there's movement speed, because if you have a slow character, especially since it's a physics-based game, and it's whoever is the fastest pretty much wins, aside from Sonic. He's an outlier. But, like, if you're slow, you're going to get caught in all these strings and combos and everything. So, movement speed's another one. Your jump and, like, your knockback and damage outtake, I think it's. So pretty much, like, it determines how fast you are and how strong you are. And Meta Knight, oh, my God, just insane in Brawl. Anyways, he was like
Not in Smash 4.
Not Smash 4. He got nerfed tremendously, but not to the point where he's underused or anything. Well, I guess he is kind of underused, but like not to the point where anybody could say he's bad. It's just he's neutral.
Okay.
Yeah. He's stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that you guys touched on a little bit, I posted on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, the Super Smash documentary. So if you guys haven't seen that, I recommend you watch it.
It's phenomenal.
It's like a 4-hour.
That really got people started. Like,
Yeah,
in Smash. From what I understand, anyways, is that true? Like,
yeah,
it got it really started.
A lot of people I know personally are trying to get into the competitive scene solely based off of that documentary alone. Like, it has changed so many people's perceptions on what Smash is and the fact that it is a competitive esport, and like people are kind of just looking at it in a whole new light now, and it's really awesome. It's giving Smash a better reputation than what it had before.
Now, like with that documentary, there was a lot of moments where we learn about, the Ken combo and all the trademark combos. Now you guys were touching on earlier how Smash doesn't really have like a set combo list, like Street Fighter does. Like Street Fighter, you can kill somebody without stopping the movement on your controller, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Smash, it's more of like a fencing battle to see like who's got the better moves and who can deflect properly and like who can attack properly, who's got the the smarts. Like I love how in Smash like you can tell like Ken's Marth, and then you can tell like
M2K for example.
Yeah, his Marth is like really by the book, and then Ken's Marth was like really just like aggressive and like different, and I love how you can add your own personal style, whereas like in Street Fighter and Tekken, it's like the style is the character. Right, whereas in this game it seems to be a little bit more like you can develop your own style.
Yeah, definitely.
And like it's just really a really personable game.
Yeah.
You mentioned Mewtwo King. I remember in the documentary, one of the things I thought was so cool was when they're talking about Mewtwo King, he has some like a minor form of autism or something like that.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that up until recently, because I don't know. It's nothing I really.
Yeah, nothing like you'd ever like need to bring up. But apparently he counted like frames. Was that kind of like, was that upplayed, or like was that like something really really big? Like he could count the frames between moves. Would that really make like a big difference, or was it kind of just like for the documentary?
I don't think that has much of a say in Mewtwo King's skill, because his skill is based off of his reaction time and whatever. So I guess like being able to count frames would definitely help. It's not like a make it or break it type thing, though. So
it's not like a robot or something.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that, especially in the style that he plays. I've seen him play Smash 4 a lot more recently. Especially, I was watching the VODs from the B6, and he plays Cloud, which is a DLC character. So I haven't seen like an insane number of Clouds like I have seen an insane number of Sheiks or anything. But when he plays his Cloud, it's very special in the fact that it's very defensive. He'll go and he'll try and get his limit break, which essentially makes him slightly stronger and gives him like finishing moves, or I guess they're called finishing touches, I believe. And because of that, because he plays so defensively, I don't think counting the frames would be too much of help. It might help in like very few instances.
But in Melee, it maybe helped a little.
In Melee, I would probably think so.
Okay.
Like it could definitely become a factor, but again, it wouldn't be like a do or die type thing.
Okay, so I think maybe that was like maybe played up a little for the documentary. Okay, but it's still really cool.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I had, which is just a very, very League of Legends focused question. Now, you might not know anything about League of Legends, but we've got
too much into
it. But we've got a ranked tier list. We've got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, challenger. About 50 to 60% of the population is bronze, and then it kind of goes down from there. And we've got like 1% in diamond of like what makes up the total population in North America. So what I want to get a feel for is what skill level are you? What skill level do we commonly see at Ryerson University in the basement? What is the highest skill level you feel like you've ever played against, and kind of like rate it from bronze to diamond.
Yeah, and how do like rankings actually work? Like, how do you say to someone I am better like than the average player? Like, is there like some website or something?
Unfortunately, no. Like, you could probably go on Smashboards or something, but that wouldn't really tell a whole lot. Which really sucks about Smash. Pretty much the only way you can say that you're better is by proving it. It's like, okay,
That's really cool. That's actually really
Yeah.
cool because like I could see you building up your reputation.
yeah,
Like I remember in the
it's-
documentary.
it's like word of mouth, pretty much.
yeah,
you
that's
know?
actually really cool. Like you hear
Yeah.
about this guy like on like whatever New Jersey or something.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Like he's got an insane mirth or something like, and it's just like you build a reputation. There's like hype. That's actually kind of, like that's really unique and that's really cool. It's
Yeah.
better than just saying like, hey, I'm Diamond 1. Like oh, that's great. Like but like that's just a number or a rank. you
Yeah,
know?
that's just a rank, and like I feel like even though Smash doesn't have that definitive ranking system like bronze, silver, plat, gold, diamond, challenger, all that stuff, I feel like even though we don't have that, it's a lot more clear as to who's better than who because I don't know. I guess it's a lot more consistent. Like if you're gonna lose to somebody consistently, they're like you're worse than them, and it's easy to say like where you lie. In relation to the people around you,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to say on a more grand scale. Like it'd be hard to say, okay, I am like 8,000 places below zero.
Yeah.
You know, like it's kind of difficult to say that because I don't know. But yeah,
I kind of feel like these games, like these other esports games, like League and Counter Strike and Dota and all that, they have rankings because it is like an online multiplayer game. You're only playing against
Yeah.
online people, and from what I understand, is Nintendo doesn't really get like online. Like, is there online in Smash like 4?
in Smash 4 there's For Glory and there is an online tournament mode. And I'm sorry, David, I'll get back to your question in a moment. But just to answer this question, yeah, Smash 4 does have online, and it's not bad. It's super.
Is it laggy? Like, is that?
It's not even all that laggy because you can buy an adapter so you can hook up Ethernet to it. It's for lack of better words, filled with scrubs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yikes.
Well, that's why the League community doesn't have like an area where they like get together. Like
Yeah.
Smash, you need to sit with someone on a couch and play. That's really cool. It builds like a closer community, I think.
yeah, it definitely does. Like a lot of people are a lot more close knit with each other, which is really awesome about the Smash community, and that's also why a lot of people consider us a lot less toxic than other gaming
More
communities.
sociable too.
Yeah, we're a lot more sociable. We're a lot more close knit. We're able to improve with each other a lot more, and we don't trash talk each other a lot more. And I'm so sorry, David, I forgot your question.
So I mean, we were talking about ranks. It's like, it's all
No,
pretty relevant.
I was just wondering, where you would rank yourself in the league ranking system. Where would you rank some of these people at Ryerson? We had a tweet. Somebody tweeted, "If you can multi-shine more times than someone else, you are better." From Joseph Banning.
Oh, that's my friend. I don't know what that. What was he talking about?
Multi shining?
Yeah.
That's a melee thing. I know wave shining. I know shine spiking. So pretty much Fox, notably the best character in melee. His down special or down B is a shine, which pretty much reflects projectiles, but also has some pretty good knockback if you use it right next to your opponent. And so there's also another tech called wave dashing, which is when you short hop or you, for a very brief moment, press the jump button. A few frames afterwards, you air dodge downwards into the direction that you want to go. And it's difficult to do, in my opinion, because I'm not a melee person. But wave shining would be incorporating, the shines into that. Multi-shining, not too familiar with what that is. Again, it's because I'm not a huge melee person.
But does wave dashing exist in Smash 4? Like,
It does not, just because you can't air dodge into a specific direction. Air dodging is pretty much where you are, and you just fall in the direction that you're following before. So
Okay.
there's no wave
I
dashing.
know when I've tried to play Melee, I tried to do like wave dashing. I can do like one, and then it's like I see players doing it. Like you definitely, I guess it gives you like a lot of faster movement, and is that the point of it, right?
There's a whole pretty much with wave dashing, you can do a lot of moves out of it with no lag, opposed to when you're dashing and if you want to dash and then do a grab, you kind of have to wait a little bit, or anything. It just makes it a whole lot easier. And there's also another thing called L canceling, which I believe is just when you press L or something.
Yeah.
During the end lag of a move, it reduces the end lag by half, I think. So it makes pretty much the end lag faster, twice as fast, which is pretty awesome. But that doesn't exist in Smash 4, which is another primary difference between Melee and Smash 4. The fact that Melee is a lot more tech-based. Smash 4, and even though it's still new, and a lot of people say it's hard to be consistent in Smash 4, I believe, and it's just a personal opinion, Smash 4 isn't really technical based. It's more just about reading your opponent and like playing the mind games.
That's
and,
cool. That's cool though. It's fresh. That's fresh and different.
Yeah, like a lot of people would say, like, even though they're both Smash games, they're opposites from each other. And I know a lot of people who will not touch another Smash game other than Melee, and I know people who will not touch another Smash game other than Smash 4.
Counter-Strike was the exact same way, and this is kind of like with Brawl as well. Like,
Yeah.
there was CS 1.6, which was the big one that started it all.
Yeah.
And then Source came out, which people absolutely hated. Very few people went on, just like Brawl. Like almost, it had a very small competitive scene, but Source still did have one. And
Yeah.
then CS:GO came out and it kind of like united everyone back together, kind of like Smash 4 sort of like did as well. So that's kind of cool. Like there was like the company or the developer messed up, and then they kind of brought it back. They realized their mistakes and kind of brought everyone back together.
A really cool thing, which a lot of people don't know, is that pretty much any top player from Smash 4 actually derived from Brawl, which I think is pretty cool. Just because Brawl, in a lot of people's eyes, was such a mistake, and it's just such, like, even I think so. It's not a good game.
Yeah, I guess it was slow. Was that the complaint?
It's super slow. There was the mechanic of tripping. You have Meta Knight, who's insanely broken.
Yeah.
And, like, they've never had to ban a character from being played before, and then you have Brawl with Meta Knight, and it's like, nope, can't play. Like your story, it's like, no, you can't play Meta Knight here, man.
That's so okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm kind of thankful for Brawl in the end because it gave us the Smash 4 meta that we have today and the whole top Smash 4 scene.
They realized their mistakes, I guess, and they fixed them, or
they fixed it, and I guess they actually like got what they wanted out of it. That's how I see it, anyways.
So you think Smash 4 was the game that Brawl should have been?
Yes, absolutely. Maybe they incorporated some of the mechanics into Brawl on purpose, and like they were just testing it out, and it failed. For example, the tripping mechanic, that could have been in there on purpose, and maybe they really wanted that, but then they just suffered such a big backlash that they couldn't. But yeah, I think in the end, Smash 4 is what Brawl should have been.
But I think Nintendo never, from what I understand, Nintendo never really wanted like Smash to be competitively played, right? Like just wanted to be a party game.
And in fact, they would hammer down on some tournaments actually. Even to go out and try and ban Project M, which is a Brawl mod, to make it work a little bit more like Melee. They would go out of their way and they would actually ban some of those tournaments just because Nintendo has such a big reputation of being a party type, like especially
family,
with Smash,
family fun.
Yeah, and they don't want it to turn into a gruesome competitive scene because that brings along a lot of negative stigma.
But they're fixing that now, right?
They're fixing that now, and actually with the Canadian Video Game Awards, the CVAs back in November, I believe it was Nintendo of Canada.
Probably.
They donated all of our setups that we had there.
Really?
Or for the most part, 90% of the Wii U's were theirs, and we had to like.
Was it that little area like in the corner with like?
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like Nintendo personally donated that stuff to us, and like I remember people were talking about how they were staying up all night to unlock all the characters and all the stages and everything. And
Wow.
I think this is like really a first step in Nintendo accepting the competitive Smash scene.
I don't see why they shouldn't. Like it could only bring success to them.
Yeah, next stop is Mario Party.
Oh god.
I love Mario Party.
I feel like we've been getting a little technical here for the past 20-ish minutes. Let's dive into some Smash esports. Now, we've talked about the technical things. I don't know if a lot of people are following along. I know the Smash community knows exactly what you're talking about. But some of these people might want to know who are like the Smash greats and like kind of like where they come from. And like, there's a tournament coming up, Battle of the Five Gods. What is that?
Okay, so to give a little backstory, the Five Gods, they're all Melee, and I personally believe this is just because I'm a hardcore Leffen fan that he should be the sixth god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for that. A lot of people hate Leffen, and I'll get into that soon. But the Five Gods, there is Hungrybox, there's Armada, there's M2K, there's Mango, and there's PPMD.
Now, I sorry to cut your
No worries.
your speech short there. You were about to go into like each of the merits of Mewtwo King, the greatest of all I don't think Hungry Box should be there. Now I could probably
I
get
strongly
torn apart.
disagree.
I don't think Hungry Box deserves to be there playing one character for his entire career.
Here's the thing, though. If it works, why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I just like, yeah, he won IEM, and now you're gonna call him a god.
I don't know. I think he deserves to be up there. I also believe Leffen should be up there, so I'm clearly the king of unpopular opinions.
Yeah, but I could probably get torn apart for saying Hungry Box doesn't deserve to be there.
What's up with Hungry Box? Why is he like? Is this thing that he stands like? That's his.
He plays Jigglypuff, which on its own, he's the only one of the 5 gods to play Jigglypuff.
Did Mango play Jigglypuff or used to?
He as a troll, like he
As a
played.
troll,
he
yeah.
played
Okay.
like when he goes into pools. The story is that he would always play stuff like Pichu. He would play the other person's character, and he would
Yeah.
kind of be like
That's pretty- that's
Azen.
pretty-
He would be like Azen kind of, and like
Yeah.
beat them with his own character. But he would do that as like a troll. Like, and when he would get to the big boys, that's when he would play Falco Fox.
Yeah, he would play what he's best at. The thing with Hungry Box, like, because Jigglypuff has the tools to be the best, he's proven himself to. He has the capability of being the best. Like, I believe Hungry Box definitely deserves a spot of, one of the 5 gods. And the issue with Hungry Box, to kind of answer your question, was from what I've seen anyways, and what a lot of people say, it's super campy. He plays a really campy Jigglypuff, and then he'll just throw out the same combos. I believe it's like an up air to a rest, and because Jigglypuff's rest move is so broken in melee, it would kill super early, and it's also I believe a guaranteed connect. It's guaranteed to hit.
Yeah, and what I often compare Smash stocks to is kind of like eco rounds in CS:GO. Is like if you get like a good rest off, it's like 3 to 4, and it's like shit. Well, now I have to do like now I have to be a lot more careful, right? And like whoever's got the stock, whoever's stock game is strong, they end up winning the match. And sometimes these are like literally like Naruto and Sasuke. They're just like going at it, like it's just stock after stock after stock, and it's like an amazing to watch. And I think like the last time that was kind of the thing was whenever Leffen was in the semifinals or the finals, he would play his heart out a lot of the time. And people call him the God Killer for a reason, because he's not a part of the gods. He kills them. He kills the gods, right? But I always like once upon a time, obviously Ken was a part of the gods.
He was.
What happened to him? I don't remember.
He just retired.
He's not around at all anymore.
The documentary says the documentary says that he just couldn't he couldn't like live with the hate.
But did he just disappear, or is he still like around?
He plays, but he's not as good.
Yeah, he also plays some other games. I believe he plays a little bit of Dota 2 now.
Okay.
But I don't know. And he is with I believe he's with Team Liquid.
Like he's a streamer.
He is, yeah. Liquid Ken.
He's a streamer, I guess.
He's a streamer. He doesn't really. I mean, like he goes out to the tournaments every once in a while, but nothing that would ever. Like, he has a skill to be a top 10, but people wouldn't call him a top 10 just because he doesn't make those appearances anymore. He doesn't have that same dedication or anything.
Okay.
Now, what about, is his name Isaiah?
Isaiah. Whoa.
We're going back here. Yeah, I've done my research. Isaiah, arguably the underrated god of Smash, has like he kind of like appeared in the beginning, and then like I don't know what happened. That Smash that part of the Smash documentary was the most interesting part, because there's these 2 people who we know nothing about. There's Isaiah, who opens up in like a one-on-one interview that probably shouldn't have gone into the Smash documentary,
not.
but it was released anyways in that documentary. And then that guy who doesn't say anything. I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember also, but
he's friends with Liquid Chillin'. Like that's pretty much.
Who?
I think it's Azen. Is that Azen?
It might be. Honestly, right now I'm drawing a little bit of a blank.
Let's see. Azen Melee. He actually has only 1 follower on Twitter. Yeah, it's Azen. His name is Azen. He's the guy that would, to get to the top, he would play your character. And like if it's a Marth Ditto at the top of the food chain, it's a Marth Ditto. And he was probably one of the best. And in the Smash documentary, you learn a little bit about him, and it was pretty much Faizan, Ken, and Isaiah that were like at the top at the time, and then they went to Japan where it was really prominent. There was a Captain Jack and like some other prominent Japanese player, and they trained. And then like overall, the interesting thing about Smash is that once upon a time it was an East versus West Coast thing. And like I've never seen an esports rivalry that serious, where it's like the only country that matters is America, and it's like East versus West, and it's like
That's something that was always weird to me because like I mean this doesn't really matter in esports so much, but it is like a Japanese game technically. It's made by Nintendo.
It is
Are there
Japanese.
top like Japanese Smash 4 players? Like are there any notable ones?
There's Renai, who's extremely notable, especially as of lately. He's been putting up some really good matches against Zero, and Zero even went out of his way to say when he was playing against him, I believe it was at the Beast 6. He went out of the way to say like, oh my god, that set against Renai, and I believe it was winners semis or something. I could be getting that completely wrong, but anyways, Zero went out of his way to say like Renai gave him one of the best like sets he's ever played.
Wow.
And like it was difficult. Like it was also really close. I believe it was 3-2 as the final score. And yeah, you have people like Renai. You got people like Abadango, who's personally my favorite Japanese player, just because he plays really unorthodox characters. He plays Wario. He plays a little bit of Meta Knight, I think. He's most notable for Pac-Man, which you never see in competitive play, which is insane. And he would also get the results with Pac-Man. He doesn't play it as much anymore, but like, you know, you do have the notable Japanese players that are like coming to America to like, you know, make a statement and be like, hey, we're here too. Hey, we deserve to be like with the best.
And speaking of people in Smash 4 who are like really, really good, one of the top players from my understanding is Zero, right?
He is the best.
The best.
He went
like undisputed,
over 50. Well, he's lost once. It was at MOG against Nairo, who is considered second best, especially since he's the only one that's been able to take out Zero in a tournament. And Nairo is insanely good, but yeah, Zero over 50 straight tournaments without a single loss.
There's something like that in Counter-Strike going on right now. Basically, Fnatic is like the top team. They've won like
I've
the
heard
last
a lot
few.
about Fnatic.
And it's weird. You'd think like, okay, why would anybody want to watch if you just know Fnatic's going to win? And I was about to ask you, why do you want to watch if Zero is like the best? And I'm thinking of Counter-Strike. It's still like that chance of that upset. Like just because they're the best doesn't mean they're going to win every single time. Is that how it is in Smash 4?
Well, a lot of people actually, back when Zero had his insane streak, a lot of people would boo for him.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is with Fnatic.
Yeah, too. And they'd be like, you know, get off. I guess they don't want the best to win.
Yeah, in esports. I never understood that. Like, you want to watch esports to see the best players play. You don't want to see your like. Okay, sure, there's still people who want to see their home team win, but you want. And at the end of the day, for me, I want to see the best in the players in the world play against each other.
Exactly. Yeah. With Zero, it's a little bit of a weird thing, but I always watch just because, like, people will watch for different reasons. I personally like to watch not only because it's entertaining, but because I try and take away whatever I can from his play style, because he's the best for a reason. Obviously, he's doing something right. There's something that I could probably take away from watching him play.
Right.
Not only that, but like I said before, it's insanely entertaining. And I remember watching MOG live. I was streaming it while eating some dinner, and I watched him lose that set super early against Nairo in the grand finals, and my jaw just dropped, and Twitter was going insane. And I guess you kind of do have a point where it's like people watch to see if there is that upset yet, and every single time people grow more and more hopeful.
Yeah, exactly.
That the best is going to lose.
This is the one where things are going to change. So would you say Nairo is like the second potato, like the second guy?
He's definitely the second best, and what I love about him is he loves to troll, especially online.
Who does he play? Who does Zero play too?
Zero plays
Meta Knight.
Yeah, actually,
I like him.
I think he did.
Yeah, I
Brawl.
know. Yeah.
So he was. I mean, that's another thing. He came from Brawl, right?
He came from Brawl. All the top Smash 4 players, they came from Brawl.
So would you say Brawl is more similar to Smash 4 than Melee is?
Yeah. I would definitely say that. But we have players like Zero, who pretty much established Sheik as top tier. And then we got
Diddy Kong Once Upon a Time.
Diddy Kong Once Upon a Time, who unfortunately got very much nerfed.
His banana got shafted, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
that's something in Smash 4 that's different than the other ones. There are patches, aren't there? Like,
Yeah,
and
actually,
how often do they happen?
patches. So there've only been a handful of patches since release date 2 years ago. Nintendo actually announced during its last set of DLC that they are not patching the game anymore.
Wow.
And unless like the new DLC characters are insanely broken or they're glitched out or something, then they would patch it. But for the most part, they're not.
Is that Bayonetta?
patching.
Is she in it?
There's Bayonetta and there's Corrin from Fire Emblem,
Okay.
and both characters, they're kind of broken. Even M2K went out of his way to say, I believe it was like, I think he said it this morning. He said, Bayonetta, if you don't learn how to escape her combos, she will beat you. She will, like, and I absolutely believe that because she has so many great tools that are so unorthodox. And even Zero was saying over the weekend on his Twitter, when you play Bayonetta, it doesn't feel like you're playing Smash. Like she doesn't belong in the game.
Wow.
And that is kind of a harsh thing to say, especially to people who love Bayonetta in the game. But I kind of get what he's saying. She doesn't belong in the game. She just doesn't feel right. Like her recovery, the way that she just moves and everything, all her combos and everything, it doesn't feel like a Smash game.
That's crazy. They're not going to update it anymore, and that's something that we know really well in League of Legends and Counter-Strike.
Oh, don't even get me started.
The patches are like the bread and butter. It's the reason
my
why
God.
we keep coming back to the game.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
In League of Legends, you'd think would be boring after a
I
while.
hate patch day.
Yeah, but don't you agree that patches like change things up? It keeps them interesting, and you'd think that in a game like Smash 4, that not patching it would kind of like not keep it interesting. But obviously with Melee,
with Melee, that's why people even still to this day play it, and
And
it's just
hasn't
it's
changed
just
since launch, right?
like Faizan
There's
said,
an
it's just
established meta with it, you know, like whoever's at the top or whatever characters are the best, they are the best, and it's been established why. And Melee, people are still learning about, like, they're learning new stuff about it every couple
that's
months.
ridiculous.
But
That's so crazy.
But with Smash 4, and I want to quote Esam here. Well, I'm going to paraphrase him. You cannot be consistent in a game that's always being patched, and the fact that Zero could always be so consistent is insane. It is like it's inhuman, you know. Like in Smash 4, it's probably the most difficult game in my eyes to be super consistent, just because everything is changing all the time. And like I said, it's a game of, like, as I said this at the beginning, Smash 4 is all about the mind games. And the fact is, everybody plays a little bit differently than each other. And so it's not like when you go into a tournament or something, you're not going up against a Sheik or a Rosalina or a Zero Suit Samus. It's like, okay, I'm going up against Yo's Sheik, who Yo, by the way, is actually the best in Ontario right now. Or I'm going up against Raycom's Ganondorf. You know, you're not playing the character, you're playing the player, which, you know, makes Smash 4 such a weird thing, and it makes it almost impossible to be super consistent.
Now, one thing that I do have to mention is that I got a couple of buddies down in Windsor, and they own a gaming, like, it's not a shop, but it's like they've got TVs set up there, they've got PS3s we use. It's called Kappa Gaming Lounge.
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've actually heard of it. Yeah.
I recommend anyone who's kind of in the area to stop on by. Those are my good friends from esports gaming events, Sean and Sten, and those guys, and Sean as well. Those guys are. They've been really prominent in the Smash community with like streaming, and like they've helped with the Canada Cup, which encompassed a lot of different games, and also there's like Toronto Top Tiers. There's even matchup gaming. There's a lot of people in Canada doing good things for Smash, and
Toronto. Sorry to just cut you off. I just want to say real quick, Toronto has done a lot of amazing things for the Smash Bros. Community in Canada alone.
Yeah.
Like it is unreal, especially since we have all those like TOs who are working effortlessly to just, you know,
like JC
and Connor. They're working effortlessly here at Ryerson to make the Ryerson Smash Bros. Community what it is. And we have people like Joe Kribari, who's working. He helps run Even Matchup Gaming, and he also runs Smash on Tap every Wednesday for Melee and Thursday for Smash 4. He's running these weeklies so as best as he can, and it's really doing a lot for the not just like Toronto Smash Bros. Community, but Canadian Smash Bros. Community. And as a whole, Smash Bros. Community in general. Toronto has done a lot for its part.
Now, a question that I had is in May probably will be one of the biggest things that Smash has seen for Toronto. Good game con. There's gonna be something there. Get up on my level or get on my level.
Get on my level. Yeah.
There's a lot of like good players coming in.
Yeah.
Like Mewtwo King's gonna be there. Zero's
All
gonna
of them,
be there.
I think, isn't it?
There's a lot of
pretty much
people
all of them.
coming
I'm not
in.
too sure about Leffen. I know Leffen's going to be there for EGLX in April.
Yeah, that's also happening. But I think Get on My Level is gonna be the biggest.
It's for Smash wise, it's going to be the biggest.
Yeah.
And I'm super hyped for that.
Are you gonna be competing in both EGLX and Good Game Con, or are you gonna spectate?
I'm thinking for EGLX, I might actually end up spectating just because it's a little bit out of my price range, and I don't have the tournament results yet to like be able to be able to afford that. For Get on My Level though, I actually am competing.
Ooh.
Hoping to get in a little, some matches with Zero.
Yeah.
But just gonna see how that goes.
Now, one question that I did have that I kind of alluded to from earlier was I was talking about like the tiers and like all that good cha-cha. I was wondering if like what's like the toughest opponent you've ever faced, and I just wanted to compare because like I know that these guys play in bracket, right? They play in pools, so like you'll find like Joseph if he competes, he might even end up playing against Zero. He might lose. He's probably gonna lose, but he might.
How much is registration?
But like in pools, you might end up facing these guys, right? So like, what does it take to take a stock off of somebody like Zero? And who is the toughest opponent you've ever faced? And like, how did you feel?
The first question I'm going to answer is actually, what does it take to just get a stock off on its own? Honestly, you have to be thinking 3 steps ahead of your opponent, and you can't be super aggressive to play. You can't be hungry for that kill,
Yeah.
In Street Fighter, you can add a lot of pressure on your opponent, which will cause them to block, and they'll eventually still deteriorate health.
It's kind of like Killer Instinct as well, where you just go balls deep, and then like you see if you can break the barrier, right?
Yeah.
The only reason why I like Killer Instinct is because like when you break the block, it makes this really cool noise.
Yeah.
It's like broken. It's just like so. Anyway, sorry.
It's cool.
I love that game.
I get what you're saying. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
But to be able to get the stocks off, or even a single stock off, not only do you have to be thinking ahead, you have to be patient.
Yeah.
And in a game that's all about speed, it's difficult to be patient. That's definitely something I know I've faced a lot of trouble with, and that's definitely what separates an average player from a good player, and a good player from the best. Having to be patient, having to just take your stance and make sure that you're in control of how the entire game is flowing. Sorry, what was the other question?
Who's the toughest guy that you've ever faced, and how did you feel? I mean, you answered how you faced off again. How if you got the opportunity to face off against Zero, you would try to play it methodically, but at the same time, try to get off that hyper high of being sitting next to Zero. But like, what would you? Who is the toughest opponent you've ever faced? Give him a shout out, and like if you can, if not, that's fine.
Or if you're embarrassed, you don't have.
Yeah, or how did you feel? Like it was my sister. She beat me up, man. I only say that because Zero started out practicing against his sister.
Sure?
That's how he started. Yeah.
It's actually amazing to have siblings who are also into Smash, just because like it really helps. It's at home practice.
Yeah.
The hardest player I have ever faced. There's a couple, and I'll go through each of them individually. The first one is Raycom. He's not on the top 10, but he's on the honorable mention list for Ontario. And he's actually the best, the number one in Ontario, Yo. They're brothers, which is also super weird because their playstyles are very different than each other. Yo likes to be kind of aggressive, but not too aggressive, which it makes sense. It creates for a good play. And Yo actually plays Sheik, best in the game. Zero plays Sheik. It's easy to say Sheik is the best. But then you have Raycom, who plays Ganondorf, arguably one of the slowest characters in the game. Some people would say like he's definitely down there on the bottom, but his Ganondorf is so patient, so methodical. He knows what's going to happen, and he waits for you to mess up once. As soon as you mess up once, you've lost. You've pretty much lost the entire game. So I'd say Raycom is definitely one of the most difficult opponents I've ever faced. Next one is V115, who plays a Yoshi. I've only played against him once, and it was actually well played.
Ooh.
He just didn't let me really get too many moves out. I guess he read the fear that I had, and I was trying to stay more defensive. So he's like, okay, if you're not going to come to me, I'm going to come to you. And I was a little bit overwhelmed by that. And he pretty much put a lot of pressure on me, and then I couldn't do much. Same with the player Poke. These are all Ontario players, by the way. Poke, he plays Luigi and Donkey Kong. Again, these aren't characters that you would regularly see in high level play, but the fact is these players play them so well and so clean and with such good mind games.
It's because they put in a lot of practice, and
They
like
definitely
in all these smaller regions, like even if you probably go to California and you go to SoCal, there's probably like a small tier list of people who play these really, really phenomenal characters. They'll play like Pichu, and they'll be like, he'll be top 10, right? But that's because that's the best Pichu, right? And we know this is a direct example from Axe. I believe his name is Axe. He plays strictly Pikachu. He runs on the stage with a cape, and then when he wins, he's like flying. I don't know what this guy's doing, but he's a prime example of like what it means to be a main even Armada. Come on, like the bread and butter of Peach. Like he's like the best Peach player in the world. In fact, one of the best players in the world, and
ranked number 1 right now, actually.
Yeah, and he sometimes pulls out the Peach, and he sometimes pulls out the Fox. But I think lately he's been playing a lot more Fox.
I think he's just trying to keep up with the meta and everything. Like at a certain point, his Peach won't cut it anymore, just because it's Peach. Fox has a lot more tools for the KO. So if you want to progress, you unfortunately do have to become part of that wave. Just like one more person who I want to talk about who I had a little bit of trouble with. I feel like he's listening today. He actually goes to Ryerson. His gamer tag is Sushi.
Delicious.
Yeah, definitely. He plays a Captain Falcon, and he's actually the person who's helping me improve the most in Smash 4. So also a little quick shout out to him. He plays a Captain Falcon, and it's probably one of the better Falcons I've seen. Not the best, but definitely one of the better ones. And he definitely knows like what's happening around him all the time. And he's one of the better players and somebody who I have a lot of trouble with. But I do get the practice off of him, which is really nice.
Nice. Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries. We have about 12 minutes left in the show. We do want to touch on a bit of League of Legends, of course, as our diehard fans are so used to tuning into. But yeah, thanks again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and shout out to the Ryerson Smash community. Although I don't know you personally, I will give you a giant big hug soon.
And our weekly discussion too. We can just fit in that in like the last few minutes, because definitely Faizan, you could have something to say about that with Smash.
If we have time.
I'll try.
As you know, ladies and gentlemen, every week I do some standings reports, and right now it's crucially important as we are heading into the last week. The North American standings, we've got Immortals at the top spot, 15-1. CLG and Cloud9 tied for second, 11-5. TSM at 9-7 in fourth place. NRG and Liquid tied together at fifth place for 8-8. Echo Fox down there at number 7, 6-10. TIP 5-11. Dignitas 4-12. And you guessed it, Renegades 3-13. What a couple of games we had last week, Joseph. The most notably, of course, Dignitas up against Immortals, and then we had
that was the only one that to me
Echo Fox against Renegades.
That was
as
the
well.
only game that really.
No, but I mean Dignitas, and so what people like to joke around is when Fnatic had Huni and Rain over. People would tweet often, like if they would be losing the first half hour, they would be like, all right, like we lost 2 inhibitors. I think that's more of a handicap. Can we win now? So like that's what people would tweet, and that's what happened with this Dignitas versus Immortals game. For one of my assignments, I had to do play-by-play, so I just cut a highlight clip of Dignitas versus Immortals, and one of the top comments was like Like we gave up 2 inhibitors. You think it's time to win now? And then Wild Turtle's like, yeah, sure, I guess so. And then that's when they just turned up the heat 35
But I
minutes.
knew,
in.
like, okay, like from the beginning, even though Dignitas had the lead, like, come on, like it's Immortals. They weren't the whole game. They were never behind in gold so much that like there was no way for them to come back. They were always really close.
Yeah.
And I like that's what it kind of like. There was a point where they were like 5 up, like 5 kills up, 6 kills up, and I was thinking, like, I saw that. That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, holy crap! Like, are Dig gonna win? I looked at gold right away. They weren't that far behind, and I said to myself, like, it looks good, but Immortals is going to come back for sure. I wasn't really surprised. Like,
no, and I mean, we have to take a look at obviously how, like, when I was watching that game, we won't talk about it for too much longer, but when I was watching that game, I noticed that there was a little bit of miscommunication within the team, and it's interesting to see Immortals falter. I mean, they've got like another split to like fix their problems, but they don't really have a lot of problems to fix. But it was the first time
they caught them now.
It's the first time I've seen Immortals shaky. I'll just say that.
Even in the CLG game, like they lost.
They lost the early game, and it's interesting because they were the ones to always win the early game, right? But let's move on to Echo Fox, and
this was a game of history right here. An incredibly boring, long.
Oh my
like
goodness.
This is like so like other games like Smash and whatever. Like they're always like exciting, fast paced, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
This is what the league games are becoming.
Yeah.
It's like long. Faizan, this game was 70 minutes long, which is like one of like that was the I think it's probably the record, right?
No,
Like,
I don't think it was the record, but two players in the game got the
70
highest
minutes
CS.
long.
That's why I can never. That's why I can never play League. You know.
Yeah, but they don't like. There was a point at the beginning of the year where it was like 20 minutes was like the normal.
Yeah. No, you know what I think is happening nowadays. I feel like people get like and Monte Cristo, Crepo, and Thorin. A lot of people tweeted about this issue about how lane swaps are no longer making the game a lot interesting.
Monte
But
thought that was stupid.
here's what we see: we see lane swap. We see 3 turrets being taken in the first 10-15 minutes, and then teams just circle jerk with each other until someone wins.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the games right now. There's no dragon priority. There's Rift Herald's a piece of garbage, and then we don't like people just wait till Baron, which is like 20 minutes in, and then there's this constant throw left, right. And what I noticed is that death timers is what's making these games really long now.
That game sucked. Like it's 70 minutes. You think to yourself, holy shit, it must have been like a back and forth, bam, bam, bam. It was like there's like 30 kills in the entire game, which is a lot for a normal game, but a 70-minute game with that little kills is really, really sad and boring. And the CS record was broken twice. Like you can understand Keith doing it on an 80 carry, but Froggen beat it on Gangplank. Like that's not really like a champion that's gonna like. I mean, toward the late game you could probably clear a wave like your barrels, but if he was playing like a Nivea, like okay, you can clear waves, but he's playing Gangplank. He has a CS record on Gangplank. Like only in a 70-minute game could you do that. What a boring game of history.
It's also Froggen. Froggen is like what he's known for is his CS style, which is like heavy.
He had the record
farm.
before. On a Nivea or something like that.
What we do have to talk about though is the promotion tournaments coming up. We'll touch on the European region, but to be honest, the European region is pretty clear cut and boring. There's not really too much to touch on there. But the North American is interesting because Renegades is looking a lot better than they were at the beginning of the split. You're shrugging, but it's a little too little, too late. But
next split. Maybe.
There is an image that LOL Esports posted, and it's kind of like breaking down what is the issue here, and the 10th place has to go through so much to make it back into the LCS. It's like it's tough.
Renegades can't even make playoffs. Like what? Like,
I think Renegades will come back into the LCS, but I think Dignitas will get kicked out. I gotta say, I think Renegades with this new lineup, they're looking a lot better. For some reason, Crumbs looks like a new jungler, and their mid laners looking.
I think
feisty.
it'll be close. I think it'll be close.
Yeah, but I think
it won't be like that clear cut.
Yeah, but I think that Dignitas is looking weaker than Renegades. Definitely, Renegades is not 10th anymore in my book. And Seraph was there was an interview on Yahoo Esports, and he's like, Travis Gafford's like, hey, where do you guys place yourself in the standings? He's like, second.
Whatever.
He looked into the camera, death eyes, second.
I don't. Whatever.
What a guy! And you saw that TSM handshake after they absolutely.
Do you know why he? I tried looking up. I had no idea why. Did he think he was Dexter?
Yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke.
Like, I still don't understand why. He just didn't. This guy wouldn't. At the end of the game, you handshake your opponents.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he just snubbed. He just snubbed.
Yeah,
he didn't give him a handshake. He did, and it wasn't even an accident.
Oh
He walked past. Like you could see he was like pissed. He was like avoiding. It was like,
Yeah.
why? Like there was almost no reason.
Salt.
I don't understand
Yeah.
why.
No,
Maybe
you know
because he
what?
was European. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
I
but
don't know. It was weird. I tried looking up. I couldn't find any actual explanation.
I do have to say, regardless of the fact he might get fined for that, I read somewhere. But
oh my god, don't even get me started.
so right now there's a huge fight for like who's in the playoffs, who's in the relegation.
Yep.
There's a lot of teams fighting for like relegation. It's Echo Fox, TIP, Dignitas, Renegades, which is really interesting because some of these teams are looking a little bit better. TIP obviously not, but Echo Fox and Renegades are two teams that are like back in action.
Yep.
And Dignitas for some reason looks like a little bit like
They've always been like
on and off,
whatever.
right? Yeah,
like they're never
yeah.
good. They're never really
Now,
good. They're just okay.
Let's talk about the challenger teams coming in because those guys are going to be kind of like setting the pace for
I think
this
there were some
tournament.
results today for Europe, right? Huma beat.
Yeah, I went to
Who would beat
game
Copenhagen?
5 though. Went to game 5 and like I'm
I don't actually understand the new format. That doesn't mean they're in the LCS, right?
No, it doesn't. And I have a picture of the format here. 10th place of the EU LCS fights Copenhagen Wolves, which is the second place. And then the
last 8.
yeah,
eighth
hold
place.
on.
Yeah, it's
So the winner of that match fights whoever's in 8th place. And then there's a third match where the 9th place fights the first place, which is Huma.
Basically,
in
the
that
bottom
case.
teams play the best.
Yeah,
of the
and then the last match is like the loser of like two of the. It's really messed
it's a little
up.
confusing. Two teams will be out, and two will be in.
it gives a lot of people opportunity to redeem themselves,
Yep,
which is good.
We'll
which
see.
I like.
Well, I really
yeah.
have no idea what's going to happen.
This
so
is
we'll
like a mini gauntlet for me, so I am like rock hard ready for this.
Okay.
Coming 24th to the 27th of March. I'm pumped. Before I go to the European region, the two challenger teams in America have X-Special, Alex Ish, Chris Keen. These guys are all people who have been in the LCS before. And also, news that you might have not heard of, Zhao Wei Zhao has joined an LPL team.
Whatever.
But he joined the LSPL, which is the secondary league.
Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. Done.
Zhao Wei Zhao.
Zhao Wei Zhao.
I want to go quick. I want to do the weekly discussion really, really fast. Even if it's just like a run through.
Yeah, European standings. Obviously, I don't really need to go over those. G2, H2K, Vitality at the top. Origin, Fnatic, Unicorns of Love in the bread and butter. And
It's really
then you've got
close.
Elements,
It's more clear
Splice.
cut.
Is the Burnt Toast, and Rawcat and Giants are in the garbage. I think that we'll see how Giants does through the promotion tournament, but whatever. Well, I don't care really. Origin, Fnatic, and Unicorns of Love are 100% in the playoffs no matter what happens. And then G2, H2K, and Vitality are obviously in the playoffs 100%. They're like top 3.
New guys on the top, old guys right below them.
Yeah. And I honestly, the new team that I'm in love with is Team Vitality. I watched their game against Fnatic 2 weeks ago, and it was really, really fun to watch. They were like chasing down Nuke Duck. He was on Gangplank. Like it was crazy, and like I really like how they play. And I think that all the players are comfortable with each other, and that's what's key. I don't care if Fnatic has this star-studded lineup. I don't care if G2 seems to be this force to be reckoned with. I don't care if H2K is the new super team of the European region. I like Vitality because they mesh like Dr. Scholl's inserts. They really, really like just work together really well, and that's why they're like my favorite team. And it's like you can compare them to Immortals at the beginning of the split because they just meshed well. Some of these players aren't top, some of these players are top, but they just meshed well.
Yep.
And that kind of brings us to our discussion of the week. A lot of these teams have players from different regions. Some come from NA, some come from Europe, and the same goes for the North American region. We wanted to have a little bit like 1 minute.
we have like 50 seconds.
We have like
Let's go
50
for it.
seconds.
Let's just run. What are the best region, like country for each thing?
yeah,
Why don't you talk about League of Legends really quick?
League of Legends, Korea has obviously been the number one, but that's because of their like
It's culture. I think.
it's culture, yeah. And then the same goes for StarCraft. They've had the region on lock for quite some time. And then Europe has quite underneath their belt too.
In Counter-Strike, yeah, for sure. And actually, not even just Europe. Sweden is like the
Yeah.
top. Like they have all the top players, but it's France, Poland, whatever. Like
Yeah.
they all have top players.
Yeah,
And what about in Smash?
We
4
have,
and Melee.
in general, America dominates.
That's good because they don't for many
Pretty
games.
much everything. I mean, you have Zero, who is from Chile. You have Armada, who is Swedish.